Dunk is in a heap of trouble. Can true knighthood show? We break that down more on the post credits on the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, episode 4. What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Madonna. Welcome to another episode of the post credits. Today, like I said, we're breaking down episode 4 of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's Friday night, not Sunday night, because the episode dropped today at midnight for the Pacific, 3 a.m. for the East Coast, because on Sunday we have the Super Bowl. They dropped a little early for us. Without further ado, I'm joined by my King's Guard, the one, the only Justin. How are you, bro?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. It's fun watching something that I actually like and get to review. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So
true.
like, I'm having a great time.
Wonderful, wonderful. And what about you, Matt? How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
That's wonderful. And then joining us once again, Greg. What up, big dog?
I'll take us four versus anybody one on one on the internet.
You know it.
Oh,
Absolutely. Just give it a minute, Adelia. My audio's gonna. It does that. It's gonna settle.
Yeah,
It'll
it's settled.
settle. It's
You
settled.
good? You good now?
But let's get right into it, guys. You know, it was about 35 minutes. I want everyone's initial overall raw thoughts on the episode. Let's start with you, Greg.
only way I go is raw. It
Mm.
was. I was wondering about how it would after the cliffhanger, how it would carry itself, and I was not disappointed. It was a great overall episode, full of like little speeches, little rah, some betrayal, and a good surprise at the end. So it was definitely a good episode to follow up the big reveal at the end.
Nice, nice. Justin, what about you, big dog?
Oh man, no, I totally agree, dude. Because like, I get like what some people was saying. I never judge. Like, if something's done good, even though I may think, oh, it's a little slow, or man, I wish I'd have had a little more action or whatever. But if it's still done well, I'm like, okay, cool. I like this. Hopefully we can get into some big stuff or whatever down the street, down the road, you know what I'm saying? And like really get to like, you know, get the great stuff of like having character build up and then getting to that section instead of just getting to that section. And so far this thing right here, a lot of people can say, hey, it's a bunch of build up, but these 4 episodes are a build up. I think that's like going to be way worth the wait. And this episode is particular. It's going to be my favorite episode so far, and it makes the other 3 episodes we watched before it better.
All
Like I
right,
was talking
Matt. What
about the
about?
score
Oh,
going up. The score is actually like going up on those episodes now. I was like
all
around
right.
7, 7.5, not like the biggest, highest numbers ever, but those episodes are going to get half a point upgrades from this episode alone.
Got you, Matt. What about you, big dog? Give me your
uh,
raw thoughts on this episode.
I was pretty underwhelmed with this episode. I thought it was just like we only got like one big thing revealed, and I don't know. I just thought they wasted a lot of time in this, especially with how few episodes are left.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I get you. I see you. I see you. My thoughts really were it was literally just a lot of anticipation. They're building it. They're building it. I did like the structure of it. It was kind of a show of true knighthood. It's showing you what knighthood is. It's kind of a juxtaposition of Game of Thrones, right? Because remember you watch Game of Thrones, man. Most people who win Game of Thrones, they're backstabbers. They're not good people, and they screw people over
The Ned
left and
Starks are the
right.
ones go first.
Yeah, Ned Stark's like the guys with honor and true colors. They die.
Yeah.
Ned Stark dies. You know what I mean? Like more often than not. Rob Stark dies because he's an idiot because he actually died because he didn't do what his dad did. He broke the code. You can't break the code. But in this episode, especially this episode, especially the show, it's showing you that there are true knights out there. There was a point after the rebellion, Robert's rebellion, where knighthood no longer meant a thing. In this time period, it means something, and it's about helping the innocent, protecting them, fighting debauchery and evilness. And that's what I liked about this episode. It showed you true knighthood in a sense. That's what I think mostly is what I saw. You guys can agree or disagree, but that's what I see. Well, let's go around and talk about moments of this episode that you guys like, that you were like, wow, that's really cool. I want to start with you, Matt, because you did say it was a little underwhelming, but did you take anything out of this episode that you like?
I mean, my favorite part was just at the end when the other dude joined the team.
Yes.
Other than
Was
that, yeah, there's not anything that I really drew from this episode.
nothing. Okay, got you. Got you. Just Balon breaks Baylor breaks spear. He joined the team of Sir Duncan the Tall. What about you, Justin?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I totally enjoy it, and I actually think none of this stuff, especially in this episode, or even in any episode, I think the only thing that I've seen so far in these first four episodes that you could say was a waste of time, maybe, or a little bit of an extra thing that you really didn't need, was that one guy trying to get him to like uh not really like he was going to get him to win. He didn't even want him to lose and take a dive. But when he, the one guy, the master of the
Yeah,
games or
yeah.
whatever, that was
Yes.
trying to. But I still think that's not really a waste because it showed that like Duncan's not that kind of knight. He's not
Yes.
that kind of person. He's trying to aspire to be better than all these other people and characters that are around him. And I'll actually push back on you a little bit because I think even in this time period, the knights have already lost their way. There's not very many good ones. Yeah, you'll bump into a good one here and there, and everything else. But I do think that most people's lost their honor and stuff like that. We see a lot
Yes.
of that with like the guy. So like earlier in this episode, I was like, oh shit, this one guy that I thought was an asshole, maybe he's just kind of like rough around the edges, but he's like a knight because he's like saying, hey, I'm going to pick up the mantle. I'm going to go get some of my friends and we're going to fight with you for
Stefan
the Battle of the
Fossaway.
Seven. Yeah, exactly. So, like, but then we saw what kind of douchebag he was at the end, uh, asshole.
Yes.
But but all this stuff leading up to this to me is to show you how important a lot of this stuff is, especially if you're a big fan of like the Game of Thrones and actually have looked at the history of it and paid
Mm-hmm.
attention to not just like the stuff we've seen on television, but some through the
Yep. Yep.
books
The
and
lore.
the lore. Is like all these little things that are building up are there and they're kind of need to be there to showcase like what's going on in the realm, what's happening around it, how people are, the characters that we're getting introduced to, how they're introduced, what they are going to be. And there's little things in this that like I'm glad we saw. Like Matt might look at it and go, "Oh, I didn't really care that much," but when they're at the table, my favorite scene was actually, when Dunk gets brought in before Baelor and his family, the Targaryens, and they're talking at the table,
Mm-hmm.
and you got home dude like smashing the acorns or whatever it was, and he like and eating the nuts, and then like you know that whole scene, like how
Yes.
it breaks down, and
Trial
then
by seven scene.
right,
Correct.
right.
Yes.
But then when you think about it, like how dangerous it is just to even punch a Targaryen at this time, and then what the punishment would have been
Anytime.
would be like the hand getting chopped off and his leg getting chopped off because he kicked him. Uh, so that could have happened to him. He gets into this situation, right? And when Baelor shows up, it's not just about him showing up being a big reveal that he's going against other members of his family, but that is super huge. Targaryen against Targaryen now. So when I'm looking at next week's episode, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen in this fight? Because the King's guards on the other side, they're going to have to like fight against technically the hand of the king, the
Yes. Not
next heir.
technically. He is.
So
He
how
is the head
like
of the
how are
king.
they going to hit him? Are they even going to try to attack him in this battle? Like how
Yeah.
is that stuff going to happen? So
But also
that,
too, like your two nephews, because both nephews show up, and your little brother. So it's you three plus the King's Guard. You know, like
yeah,
how do you fight? How do you do this? How do you
and
navigate this?
I think it's interesting that Baylor is stepping up for Egg here too. So we got a little bit of that like situation where we got Egg. So
Mm-hmm.
like a scene that somebody might say, "Oh, this is kind of boring." I didn't find it boring because Aegon going sitting there with Duncan whenever he's talking to Baylor, it was an interesting interaction because you're like, oh yeah, this isn't his son, that's his brother's like youngest son or
That's the nephew.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's just his nephew, and he's willing to step up for Egg here. He's willing to like Baylor is stepping up for Egg,
Mm-hmm.
not only Duncan, but stepping up for Egg that's just his nephew because he probably thinks that Aegon actually has a chance to be better than the drunkard, better than the evil ass bastard, which like that whole acorn thing earlier I was talking about when it shoots across the table and hits Lord Ashford, I think it was, and then
He
he
tells him to
like points.
go
He
get it.
bro, he does that Joffrey thing. So now I'm glad I saw that because now I'm like, bro, I want this MFer to die in a horrible way.
Makes sense. Greg, scene moment you are a big fan of.
Oh, the last part of it. We saw one of the greatest betrayals I've seen it in a while since Sunny and You Got Served.
Man,
Uh,
yeah.
Oh, great reference.
Man, that dude like it because at the beginning, like he had that badass speech, like I'm not gonna let you die alone, and like I'm not gonna let you die or something like that. And then he walked out like tent, and then he comes back. He's like, Nah, I'm fighting for the other team, dog.
Yeah, yeah. Like the next day, like,
Yeah,
hey, and listen to little details here because it's a smart move by him. Because when he goes and like basically abandons Dunk, he's like, "There's no way Dunk's going to have a team." So
yeah,
not only am I about to get a lordship and get like probably a castle or something out of this deal just because I betrayed him, but they're not even. I'm not even going to have to fight for this. Like I literally
yeah,
just rigged the game. But little did we know what Aegon could pull off.
yeah. And then
Absolutely,
you got Sir
absolutely.
Duncan's speech, and then a little humor with the big guy. You thought you were going to come
Bruh,
out, and
Yes,
this,
that
I want to talk about Tim because
yeah,
it's very he's very serious. It's talking about courage and fighting. Fighting for the innocent. And you're like, for a split second, you're like, oh, the people agree.
yeah,
But then he farts, right? You're like, oh, why did they fart? It's basically like pissing like in his face, like you don't matter. You made a dumb decision by doing that, and we're gonna let you die because you're not gonna drag us into your into
yeah,
your innocent fight for the innocent nonsense. Like, but then like, so they're like, we're not doing this. So he gets more angry.
yeah,
Where he says, "Has courage like lost on the great houses of Westeros? Are there no true knights among you?" And then when he says that phrase, the music hits, the dum, and then the gates flow
Stone
open.
Cold comes out.
Yeah, and then guess what?
yeah, bro. The glass breaks.
You know what I mean? A true knight gallops in. A true knight. Are there any true knights left in Westeros? Yes. The future king is one.
Yeah,
that
So
and
I
he's a
enjoyed that.
Targaryen.
And he's a Targaryen.
but it's all these things. Like I said, the episode because of this episode, all the episodes before it are going to get raised in score because all the things in the through lines that have happened. So we have like the couple of horrors or whatever earlier, like in the first episode or second episode, where he's
Ladies
like
of the
talking
night.
ladies
Ladies
of
Yeah,
the
of the
night,
night.
whatever.
Come
The
on,
red light
man.
district ladies that we had
Yes.
going over
Okay, we can
there.
go with that. Well, they
You
are
know, like
redheaded, so red light district does make sense.
yeah. So anyway, so like he talks to them and we even talked about this during that review is like they were like rude to him at first, but then he like showcased that like, yo, why are you doing this? Like I'm not that kind of person. Like, why are you being rude to me? And they realize, oh shit, this guy actually might be a good guy. So they changed how they talk to him. And I actually think I've seen at least one of those women in the crowd that had came out there to watch in this episode. But like the way it turned, like Baylor or so then we even had the Baratheon, right? The can't think of his name right off the
Lionel.
bat, but the
Lionel.
Lionel. We had Lionel talk
Lionel.
to him and think he was crap, right, in that second episode or even first episode. Like getting those two, but I'm going to rewatch this series when it's done because I think it is going to be a better watch. I will agree with Matt on one thing: it's probably going to be a better watch if you just watch it like it's a movie overall, so you don't have to wait the
Yeah,
weeks or in between. But like, so with the Baratheon guy thinks he's like there to betray him, he's stupid, whatever, and he just showcases, nah, dog, I'm just here to eat. And then the Baratheon guy's like, you know what, honesty, right? I don't see that very
Love it.
often. I love it. This is neat. This is cool. So you get that. You get the Baratheon switch on him. Like at first think he's one thing and then switches. You've got just these different characters as we went on, and the same thing happens here in this episode. You have Baylor. He's a low guy and everything, or he thinks of him as being a low guy. He's a heads knight. Maybe even thinks he's kind of dumb. But then when they get in that discussion, and Baylor's asking him about what kind of knight are you, because I knew what he was hitting at when he was asking that. He was like, "What kind of knight are you? How good are you trained? All
Mm-hmm.
this stuff." But then when he talks to Baylor about being like, "I just did what I'm supposed to do as a true knight. I'm supposed to protect the innocent."
yeah. Did
And
y'all think we
Baylor,
were?
being the historian that he is, knows this. He
Yeah,
knows of the great knights of the years past, and maybe there's
Yes.
not a lot of them left. And I think that gets him to finally that for Baylor to come out riding through that gate when he did. And I think all these episodes with all these through lines is coming together like beautifully as of, oh yeah, bro, that's why that's important. That's why this is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Greg, were you about to say something?
nah. It just took me back to also a Tyrion when he the Viper in the mountain, like when he got to fight Trail by Combat or whatever, and he picked his guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was kind of glad that they went to like a different route. Like they didn't go 1-on-1 or nothing. They went a little
Yeah,
seven.
a trial by seven, which
Yeah,
is older, which is a lot older. It's a lot older ways of. It was an old school way of doing it.
The last time it was 150 years ago, and
Yeah,
the leader at the time, the king at the time, was Malgor or something like that. Started with an M, and
Magor, Magor the
Magor.
Cruel.
Yep. And the reason why it hadn't happened in so long is because at that on that battle, 7 of the King's Guard died.
ooh,
Yeah, yeah, Prince Magor the Cruel. That's what they called him. Yeah, no, because it was because the new religion, right? Because like the
Yeah.
first men in the Andals, the in Game of Thrones, the old gods and the new gods. So
yeah,
the new gods being the faith of the seven. So it's a
Yep.
trial by seven, seven. Because like you have the mother, the father, the warrior, then the stranger, and
Hmm.
the seven pillars of the religion. So the trial of seven is seven people, and it's a truer test of who's guilty and who's not, because the seven will protect the seven who are not guilty, is what they think. But they're like, yeah, let's not do that. One-on-one battle, it is what it is. It's old school. No, I'm with you because it's it's also again, a lot of retrospective on the characters, right?
Hmm.
Like let's talk about the egg, the scene, like the very beginning where he's in the jail cell, and Egg rolls up. Egg rolls up in his Targaryen garb. Like
yeah,
you see how he went from like like shitty rags to like, hey, what's up, dog? How you doing? You know what I mean? And he
Yep.
like he had that shit on, bro. He had that shit on.
yeah,
Shout out to Bath Time 1989. He says, "Hello, I enjoyed this episode. The show so far. We
yeah,
agree. We agree. But yeah, like the scene where like give Dexter, give him an Emmy. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're gonna
I
give him a
agree.
supporting Emmy. I don't know if you're gonna give him a leading actor Emmy because it's technically two leads. I don't know. Give him the Emmy because this kid, he rolls up. He knows he messed up. He
Not.
knows he messed up, and he's trying to apologize to basically they've become best friends.
Yep.
yeah,
Because we learn more about how much he hates his brother. He hates him. He
Yep.
literally in the last episode, he chants, "Kill him,
Yeah.
kill him," and he's not talking about his brother killing the other guy. He's talking about the other guy killing his brother.
Yeah. You
You know
you
what I
may have
mean?
thought it could have been either way, but now you know
Yeah,
it's which way
exactly.
it is.
Then he tells a story later on in the episode where like he would come into my room at night and put his knife between my legs and say, "I have too many brothers. How about I make one of you my sisters?" You
that
know
guy
what I
laughed.
mean?
That guy
Like,
laughed.
and then Raven
Yeah. And then
falsely
said he
laughed.
would marry him. Then
Yeah,
say he would
yeah.
marry him.
Then he said, then I would marry you. You know what I mean? So like he hates him. And you know what? I agree.
Yeah,
I am with you, Aegon.
yeah,
I would hate my brother too.
yeah,
So but he like this is a future prince, probably a future king, maybe. Gives him the food and he's standing. But he then remembers he's a kid. So he goes in the corner and kind of cowers in the corner crying and saying he knows he messed up and he's so sorry. And he says, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. And he's like, yes, you did. Because if you didn't think so, you wouldn't have lied to me.
Yep.
yeah,
You
The
wouldn't
whole
have lied
thing
to
is,
me.
yeah, you wouldn't have tried to hide it. You if you
Exactly.
knew.
And then but here's the thing too, right? He's ringing him out. He's ringing him out, man. He's ringing him out. And he says, but here's the thing too, he still cares about him. He says, dry your eyes. Stop crying.
yeah,
Because he still cares about him. Then Baelor talks to him and says, "Hey." He then defends Aegon. He doesn't lambast him to the future king. He defends the kid because in private he says he's cussing him out, but in public he's like, "I gotta protect the kid. The kid messed up." But shout out to Bath Time. He has more comments. He says, I felt like it would have really benefited from the two shows dropping at once, as episodes 3 and 4 felt more like must watch cliffhangers. The
okay.
Yeah.
first two episodes were standard Act 1, setting up worlds, etc. Did you notice the guy that laughed at that was later kind of emasculated by his cousin? I felt that tied in symbolically.
Hmm.
Oh, yes. Yes. But then he fought back and says, Knight me right here.
Yeah,
Right here. And he says, basically says he's going to kill his cousin. He's like, I'm
Lock
gonna
me in. Lock me in.
lock me in, dog. Lock me in. You know,
Yeah, but like just
Justin, hold
cool
up, Justin,
things.
Justin,
So
Justin, hold up,
yeah.
hold up. I want to hear Matt. Matt hasn't said anything. Matt, any other thoughts on what was going on? Thoughts of what we said? What did you think?
Yeah, no, I like the scene with him and Egg and how he was like, "Oh, the poor prince couldn't see attorney, so he had to
Mhm.
break up," you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that whole scene. But that's why I said like I was underwhelmed because I was expecting more scenes with them, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because this is, the night of the seven is Dunk and Egg. It's about them.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, continue, Justin. What are you about to
Oh,
say?
I was gonna say, like, for one, I agree with you on the kid here. This kid don't even do Emmys, just give him the whole Emmy.
Yeah.
Right? Just make one, give it to him. We're good to go for this year. And this is the very beginning of the year, which is crazy about it. I will uh anytime we review anything, this kid's going to be mentioned because he definitely should win it all. Everything. I mean, whatever award they make, just go to his house. They should just ship it to him, Amazon style. But with that,
Oh, wait.
because he's just amazing. We talked about it earlier. Like he goes from being like this kid who knows more than he should, but that's just because of how educated he is, because he's royalty. But then he also is still a kid, and that's super hard to do. Like him like playing around with a stick or something, like he's got a sword, him watching the tourney, how he reacted. And that's why I'm saying like some of those things in the first couple of episodes may have seemed slow, but they're so much better now because him doing what he did in this episode, coming up, giving him the food, trying to apologize to him, and he's trying to be strong, but then at the same time, same scene, same area, he's having to be a kid, and he's like over there in the corner, and he's got the tears coming out because he knows like, hey, you know, this guy that I thought I was going to be able to be a squire to is now mad at me because of something I did, and all this stuff. It's like just super good, but also to detail, right? Because we laughed and cut up about a couple of the goofy moments they've had in pretty much every episode. So
Yeah.
you had like the whole crap scene, you had the big slong man. Then we had like in episode 3, the kind of weird music and stuff we talked about at the very end when
Yeah.
it was revealed that Aegon was actually a Targaryen. And in this episode, I thought because they did that in those other episodes, that scene when Duncan, like you were talking about earlier, and he's giving that rah 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 speech, and the one guy slowly getting up, and they're using some music that seems like, oh shit, who's this big guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Big Daddy's about to come down to help and
Yep.
be the knight. And then he like kind of farts, and everybody kind of giggles, and he kind of sits down. Like that didn't throw me out because I'm like, oh, that's the part of this episode. That's kind of like the little gag thing that happens in every episode so far, that one moment. But to me, it really wasn't even that big of a gag because I was kind of like, oh, this is how the common folk, because even though Duncan is like still kind of lowly, he's still a knight to their eyes. And
Yes.
they've kind of given up on knights, the regular common folk have. And then when he gets mad and he shows his emotions and everything, people's like, oh crap, like this guy's serious. Like he's not just trying to get someone to go out there and die for him. He actually believes in what he's saying. This guy's legit. And then when Baylor comes through with the fog coming out, bro, and then like the Game of Thrones, the original Game of Thrones soundtrack music starts
Yes.
coming up, I'm like, holy shit. Like I knew it was Baylor as soon as I saw him like with the darker armor and stuff. I was like, hell yeah,
I thought it was
Targaryen.
Vin. I thought it was
Tar-
Vin Diesel.
yeah, Targaryens are here to
Hmm.
come out here to bust some ass, bro.
Vin
I
Diesel
was
is our family.
Family.
Absolutely. So bad time. Another comment. I felt like there was some kind of dig at the showrunners from Game of Thrones to show how subvert expectations should be done. I don't care for it myself, but it was well done. It was a well done
probably
moment.
talking about the fart scene.
Yeah, it's
But like I
definitely
said,
the
they
fart
kind of
scene.
made it. If this would have been the only moment and we got the little stupid fart joke thing in the whole series, I'd have been like, what the fuck? Like, that came out of nowhere. But because they set it up with all those other moment in each episode, I'm actually watching not just for the fun of watching it because it's a pretty good written story and put together pretty well so far. I'm also like kind of finding myself going like, where are they going to put that goofy moment at? Where's the
Mhm.
one little like goofy moment going to be in this episode? I don't think we're going to have one next week, to be honest with you. Maybe it was just a setup so it wouldn't pull you out in this episode. But I think that's clever. I think they did that in a good way.
Absolutely. I also want to talk about, I want everybody's opinion on like, just the development of how Aerion being scared, and now he's a coward, and he doesn't want to go one on one with the big tall
A great
man.
one.
So he tries to hide away in the trial by seven. What do we think here, Matt? What about you, big dog?
Um, I don't know. To me, that just seems a way that they're gonna spread out the action like over the last two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I just like when I heard the whole idea, I was like, why are we going through all these contrivances? Like, if this dude did something that no one should do, like, why are they just killing this fucking guy? Like, why are we even at the point where one of their own people is gonna help defend him? Like, that was my problem with it.
You got
And
it. You
also,
got
it made me like really wish that they would have shown at least like who attacked him in the tent or what happened there from the last episode, because it's like the whole time they're like, why would you attack a Targaryen? And like, at least for Dunk, he's a knight, he's a big fucking dude. He liked that chick. He had reasons. All the other people in there that died, why the fuck would any of them stand up to Targaryens? Is my thought. Like, they all would have known like this is a bad idea. Or did that dude just come in and slay everyone? I just wish I would have seen that. Is all.
got you. Got you. Greg, what about you?
It was interesting to see a Targaryen kind of shy away. I guess the last image for me is Daemon. Or is it Daemon, right? From
Which one?
House of Dragons.
Yep.
Yeah, Damon. Yeah, Damon
Yeah.
Targaryen. Prince
Just
Damon.
seeing, yeah, it's just seeing him ready to go to, ready to fight and ready to do things, and then to see this Targaryen kind of, uh, try to, protect himself, trying to, kind of game the game and kind of set himself up in a situation where he can say. But also, I think that I could be mistaken. Did he have like he wanted to really kind of like not kill Duncan or not really hurt him? Like he was trying to figure out a way where he can save his honor but also like not kill Duncan because he goes back to them in that scene, right? So I was thinking about that too. I was like, did he do that on purpose or he just self preservation, not wanting to be embarrassed, not wanting to take it on one, and he was just totally avoiding it. So I just those little thoughts that came into my mind.
Well, you got the
Oh,
brother
Justin,
that comes
Justin,
in.
before Justin, let me put some comments up here. I mean, narratively, it plays into the fact that these lords will be in civil war for or against the crown in 60 odd years, and they're showing how it will lead to that well because the Targaryen power is slipping. I
Yeah.
felt that it was shown well. No dragons, no foreign resentments building. Hear me,
Yeah,
Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I mean he's right. So the chatter here obviously knows like a pretty decent amount about Game of Thrones, but this is a world that's set up. So when you put all the shows and how things has happened throughout the whole thing, just like you talked, one of y'all brought up Tyrion bringing up like he had a trial by combat, happened to be the one on one.
Twice. Yeah,
Yeah,
twice.
yeah. So he had it done like twice, so more than once he was involved in one of these,
He won
and
one, lost one.
right. So it's like set up to where this is something that can happen. You're the smaller dude than the Targaryen. And he also, I thought, like, maybe this guy being clever. He knows he might not be able to beat him because all the other guys obviously bigger and stronger. So even if he's more trained, the strength and stuff like that might be able to take him out. So he comes up, and it's a clever way that he does it. Because when he said, "Oh, like, what are you being?" Like his dad looked at him and was like, "Are you scared to fight this man one on one?" And he's like, well, no, I'm not
Mhm.
the only claimant. My brother is, which is the drunk guy who has the dreams.
Yep.
My brother is part of this as well, and I wanted him to get part of the glory as well. That's why I'm picking the trial by seven. So it wasn't like
You
he's
wrong,
kind of clever.
you wronged my brother as well.
Yeah,
You know, because he was, but because you stole, because he said a big old man stole egg from the inn.
right.
Yeah,
But you have things like we're literally watching the House of Dragons where things started being ripped apart for the Targaryens, which happened, years even before this, and we keep going through time, and we've also had the Blackfire Rebellion and stuff like that, which is Targaryens fighting amongst each other. So Baelor stepping in right here. Matt mentioned it a little bit, like how he didn't really understand how like that would happen. Baelor stepping in actually fits the timeline. It fits the story. It fits what the Targaryens would do. Like it's just how it is. That's how they were.
yeah, they're always fighting each other. They're always fighting. It's quite clever. Shout out to Bath Time. It's quite clever, in my opinion, from the Dragon guy based off of politics. It draws enemies into the opening whilst respecting and being to the letter of the law. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's using everything in it that's been given to him to circumvent possibly dying himself. You know what I mean? So he's a coward.
One
He's a
Yeah.
other thing I
coward.
had a question about too, though, was obviously Dunk is big and strong, but like, yeah, I don't even has he even fought anybody or anything like that?
Well,
That's it.
he's been trained. He's been
Yeah.
trained.
So because he says in his speech, I know none of you know Sir Arlen of Pennytree. We fought alongside you. We fought with you in many of wars. So he's probably fought some people. So he's probably like he's been a part of like some type of conflict. But
Mm,
Right.
also
okay.
too, but also too, it's kind of see like in the Raymond Fossilway scene where he says, "Knight me, Duncan, right here, right now, so I can join you." He's not a knight, right? So he's kind of he's also a liar because if he was a knight, he would pull out the sword right away and do the thing. But he hesitates for a minute and like squirms because he knows in the end, I've been lying to everyone here.
You're right.
I lied. Everyone here, I lied to everybody. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
even like it's kind of cool. You got this guy. He's almost like but he's not. He's lied about being a knight basically because he never was
Yeah,
knighted. So truly knighted. So I mean, it sounds like the guy who was his knight penny tree or whatever would have knighted him, but he just happened to have that cut
died.
that ended up killing him. So
Yeah.
like it's one of those things like I'm telling a little bit of a fib. So like you have that part of the scene which was interesting where he doesn't do it immediately, which you can play off as, oh, I didn't want to knight him because I think he's gonna die, and I don't want to knight this guy who's been cool to me just for him to go off and die and like this thing that's not anything to do with him or his fault. But now
So
like
Bath
yeah,
Time says Duncan hasn't gotten a chance since the guy that's had the best sword masters training him. Dragon Dude ain't a coward. I think he wants to make a sport out of it and get at more people.
maybe.
Mm,
Maybe,
okay.
maybe
Yeah, maybe he's an asshole.
he's a little
Yeah.
sadistic. That's true. He wants to add more people to, so he doesn't just want to go one on one because that means he only gets to kill one person.
Yeah. I mean it
So
could be
trial by
that.
seven, he wants to kill more people.
I will
All
agree
right.
with Matt earlier, though. What happened in the puppet house? We should have seen why he killed those other people because obviously, like y'all said, there were other bodies laying on the floor there in that scene. But I will say this: this is like one of the things I'm still, like I said, I'm starting to like this show more and more each episode that goes by because like there's another scene I talked about it our first review was how it was interesting that Duncan gets his sword and he's looking at it after he gets through burying the dead guy and he's looking at the sword and instead of just like holding it, he does like a little cool little flip thing with the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Like not a lot of people can just do that.
Yeah.
So that was a hint of, oh, he's skilled. Now he doesn't realize how skilled he is because it's really just from training. Maybe he got in a couple battles, but that's kind of different than tourneys and stuff like that. But he realizes that like he just doesn't know how skilled he is because that's what I was talking about. Is like he does that flip with the sword really easy, nonchalant, like, oh, this is that guy, kind of like back in the day in the westerns where the six shooter guy, he pull out a six shooter and do a little like fancy thing with it, like in like Doc Holliday or something like that, you know,
Yeah.
doing the little
So,
twists and
so
turns.
I agree with Bath Time where he says the motivation is because a dragon was being killed by a knight, and that's sacrilege. That's true, right? Because Baylor talks about it. He
Yeah,
talks about like
but
what the puppetry, which it's our sigil. It's something that's you can't just kill you know our
if
sigil
Yeah.
and our stuff like
I
that.
was talking
So
about the motivation of like the normal like lay people or whatever that died, not his.
But no, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Matt, you talking about like the other people who attacked him?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Because
Yeah.
but
you would.
technically he could have
Yeah.
just killed them because he's fucking sadistic. You know what I'm
But
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what
saying?
I'm
Oh
Like,
saying.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like did he
all
just go
right,
in there and slay
That's why
everybody,
we want to
or
see
did
it.
people
That's why we
stand
yeah,
wanted to
up?
that's why
see
we
it.
wanted to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah,
But
Matt's right. That's why we want to see it.
I
Did
will
they
say
did
this
they
though.
did they try to defend her and he killed them, or did he
But
see her kill the fake dragon in the puppet and
technically,
attack her and then you
well,
know
technically, this is the thing that Dunk did protect the innocent because the play that she was doing that had the dragon was an old tale of a guy who like did something and was able to kill a dragon and it was this man, but it was like an old school tale that had nothing to do
yeah.
with the Targaryens and their dragons. So the play that she was reenacting wasn't something to
But
even
aren't
do
all
with the
the dragons their
Targaryens.
dragons?
No. This is like a whole old tale, even before like the Targaryens even came to
Valeria.
the land. Yeah.
So
Like they were still
Valeria.
in Valyria and stuff. This was an old tale that had nothing to do with the Targaryens. That's why he's truly innocent for stepping up for her because technically she didn't do anything wrong. Home dude just walks in at the bad time, sees it's a dragon that's getting killed on the, but I almost said on the screen, but on the stage, and then flips out. And he thinks he's a dragon and he sees the dragon die, so that's why he flips out. But like I said, it would have been cool to see like him kill the others before he even broke her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I think Bad Time says it represents how time things have changed for the Targaryens without dragons. Now attitudes are changing. I think it's a really cool metaphor. I agree. I agree. Um, Anything else, guys, that we want to bring up here? Because I'll open up the floor for anybody. Any cool moments? Any themes you guys want to talk about? Greg, we haven't heard you speak in a bit.
Trying to think of anything that I really wanted to go over with. Come back to me in a minute.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
All right,
wrap up what I got. So
Justin,
my
hit me.
whole yeah, my whole thing is, man, from front to back, especially this
Oh,
episode.
okay.
What? I was like, anyway, from front to back, this episode really brought me in even further. Like, I can't wait till the season's actually over, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna watch it like it's a movie afterwards, like one after the other, to really get that feel of what it would have been like to see it like back to back to back to back, and go from there. But like, nah, man, I all the details and stuff. Like I said, I can see where some people are saying, "Oh, it's moving slow and everything." I don't mind the slow burn of stuff if it's going to pay off and if it's done well. It sucks more than anything to sit back and watch something that's a slow burn and it sucks at the same time. Like, to me, there's nothing in this show so far that's been written stupidly. Characters aren't acting stupid to me. It's written in a clever way in most cases, put together really good. It looks good. The freaking king, like the King's Guard having their white armor, is super freaking
Yeah,
cool because you didn't really even get that in the Game of Thrones, and it should have been even for the Game of Thrones, it should have been that way. So like, there's a lot of
I think
attention
I
to
think
details and all
I
that
know
stuff.
why in the Game of Thrones it's a little goldy. I have a theory because the
The
King's
Lannister people,
Guard, yeah, exactly, because they want to show everyone that like who really runs the Seven
right?
Kingdoms. It's us.
Yeah,
But yeah, but like,
big bank.
but all that stuff coming together, it's like these little moments. Like, we're thinking about the next episode, and it's like, okay, man, how good is Duncan? And I just told you, go back, watch episode 1. He gets that sword and that little flip thing he
Mm.
does with the sword. That's just kind of like nobody pays attention to, and I noticed it myself, and I was like, okay, this guy's better than what he probably even thinks he is, and we're gonna find out eventually as this show comes in. But I just think the battle is going to be the next episode. Maybe not got a lot. Maybe during the battle scene, we may get one more of the penny tree, like a flashback or something during it. Like maybe he gets hit or something.
I
And
saw the I saw the preview. We are getting a flashback, and we're gonna see young Duncan.
okay,
So
so
there's
that yeah, so
yeah.
that's going to be cool. That's probably going to happen during the fight. But besides that, I think it's just going to be the fight and what happens. But it's super interesting. This ain't just a 7-on-7 brawl. This is a 7-on-7 brawl with all these stories that now we have integrated into this fight that we wouldn't have had if we wouldn't have had episode 1 and 2 and 3 beforehand, because now we got
Mhm.
the interesting basically old Fossaway being an asshole, switching
Yes.
sides. So you got that aspect to it. You got just Duncan versus the Targaryen, that aspect to it. Now you got Baylor
Yep.
mixed in here, and
Baylor.
you got Baylor's family on the other side coming at him, his brother and his kids, which are dimwits. You got the one guy on their side that's a drunkard that dreams. He's like, bro, just hit me in the head one time. I'm gonna
Yeah,
fall
yeah.
over.
Don't
I'm gonna
kill
be
me.
knocked
Just
out.
just let me do it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you got that aspect that's going to happen right there. You got the dude with the broken leg that's freaking being a badass and still coming to battle.
So
Like,
if I have a
you got
horse, I'm all good.
you've got the mysterious guy with the eye that freaking we saw in that one
Sir Robin
episode where he got,
Reisling.
yeah,
Yes.
that splinter or something that hit him in the eye, and his eyes like hanging out as he's still riding the glory in the tournament that he was in. Like,
Yeah.
you've got all these different things. You got the guy who just freshly got knighted that's also going to
Yep.
be
Yep.
mad at his own
Okay,
cousin.
Justin, we got it. We got it. We got
Like,
it. I just
all
want to give
those
Matt.
things, and it
I
was all
know.
set
I
up.
know. I want to give Matt a chance. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. What about you? Any other final thoughts to leave and kind of a whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah, no, I mean this episode was okay. To me, it was the weakest one of the four, but I
I
still like
understand.
the show.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Matt. I want to bring up with Justin talking about all the people, right? Where's that scene where Stefan Fossaway says, "I'll go get you your men," and then he rolls up, and the men are there. He assumes it's from Stefan
Yeah.
Fossaway, and Lionel Baratheon rolls up on him. He's like, "I can't wait to go to war with you." He's like, "I can't believe Sir Stefan got you," and he's like, Sir Stevanron. Who the hell is Sir Stevanron? I don't
Yeah,
know who that guy is.
bro, I love that actor by the way. He's
Your
great.
little squire got me. And then you see like Egg like practicing his acts. He's like hiya, hiya, and you're like, give this kid everything, bro. Give this kid everything. But also too, before I want to give everybody's verdict, I want to talk. Bath time did get more comments. Contrast with the idea of the Trial of Seven brought by the Andals, the old school guys. It's the return of the old ways moving forward from the Targaryens. Exactly. It's like a really old school way of doing business, right? The first men, the Andals versus the children of the forest, if you know about the lore. Love the shield. Love shield. Pro shield. The shield, right, guys?
Yep.
Yep.
Shield. Oh my god, the shield is amazing.
Dean
Shout out to
Ambrose.
Tenzin. Yeah,
Best
shout out to
Brawl.
the slow burn and sucks is exactly how I felt about Alien Earth. It was slow
Yeah.
and is now moving. It's quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's a less confident Brienne of Tarth. I fully expect him to fight with the same anger and style. I love Brienne of Tarth. She's one of
Yeah.
the best.
Yep.
She's one of the best.
Good character.
You've got the match fixing subplot. Yep, the detail of the Dragon Prince hurting the horse. You've got more lessons from Pennywise, Pennytree. The night. There's a lot going on. I can't wait. Yeah, we can't wait either. Y'all can't wait. I can't wait
Yeah.
because we got two more books. Got two more novellas. Sexy Robert Baratheon is just in it for the love of the game. What a lad, exactly. Lionel, he's in it for the love of the game. He's like, I don't even know what happened.
I don't even
I
go
don't even know
here.
what happened. I don't even go here. I heard we're gonna go battle. I'm hopping on. I got you, big dog. Let's
But
go.
whether you like it or not, right? This is the cool thing about a show that's done well is the simple fact of he's there because of the one night that he arrived at the tent to eat. They ended up
Mhm.
dancing together and partying together, and the Baratheon guy really did enjoy his company because he wasn't a bullshitter. He was just a true guy out there ready to have some fun
Food.
and he wanted food. Like that set that up. When you watch that episode, you might be like, "Oh, this is kind of a slow scene about them dancing around and Baratheon guys drinking and getting goofy and funny." But turns out, because they spent that night together, Baratheon's here to like fight to possibly die for this guy, right?
Also,
It
too,
wouldn't
like,
make sense if he just did
and
this and we didn't
and
see that, right? Like,
and when they need a good hot meal on a day, they know what tent to go to because Baratheon lets him in the tent, and he's talking about getting a woman's finger stuck up the derriere. So
yeah, yeah.
it's all
Telling cool
good for
stories.
shout out to yo. It's hilarious about the Baratheons, man. Either you're full of life and you want to party, you're drinking, you're boar hunting, you're all cool, or you're Stannis,
Bro.
who hates everything.
The
So
one
most
true
people,
king.
The
yeah,
one true king, Stannis
most,
Baratheon,
most
who
people
does
don't watch
not
the
smile.
yeah. Most people don't watch the in like the little like making of. I suggest do it on this one because it's hilarious. The guy who acts for the Baratheon guys, like he walks in and sees the guy acting for Egg. Little guy, he's like, bro, I don't even know, like cussing around him is kind of weird, man. Like, um, but hell, I finally got kind of used to it while we were filming the show, and like he seemed to be cool with it. And they literally cut to the little kid, and the little kid's like, "Man,
I
I
don't.
hate." He's like, "I hate cussing."
Listen, I
He
only
said,
do it 'cause it's my
"Yeah." He
job.
said it cuts right there. He's like, "I hate cussing, but I just do it because it's my job." That's pretty hilarious.
It's pretty funny. All right, guys, let's head out. One last comment. You think it's relevant the Crown Prince guy was the only lord that remembered Pennytree, the knight, and was the only one that stood for Duncan? Exactly.
I
The
love
only
that
person, the only person that remembered was the Crown Prince, the heir to the Iron Throne. But let's head on out, guys. Let's give our verdicts. Matt, your verdict first, big dog.
Is this out of 10 or 5?
Let's do out of 10 like we've been doing.
I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5 it is. Justin?
I'm gonna go 9 on this episode. I really love this episode, and I'm going back and retroactively raising the score. So all the ones I had at 7, 7.5, the 3 episodes before this have now became 8s.
All right.
And they could even go up higher. If we get a kick-ass battle scene, which I'm assuming we're getting in this next episode, if we get a kick-ass battle scene and the action's really super good and worth the wait, oh, bro, everything might be 9. Shit, I might even jump to 9.5. A 9.7 in Honor Affairs.
Ooh, there you
Damn.
go.
Oh my God. Greg, what about you, big dog?
I think I'll go at 8 piece. If I would have got more action, probably 8.5. So about an 8 piece. No biscuit.
All right. Yeah, I'm with Justin. I'm going 9. Shout out to the homie Bath Time. Says
Mm-hmm.
good GG
Mm-hmm.
lad, 7 out of 10 for me. Well above average. Loved it. Boom, there it is. We all loved it as well, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Hope you had a wonderful time. If you like this review, make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you add a little bit more support, go to our patreon.com/LGR underscore network. It's
Yep.
a tier system. You pick which tier you want. You can also do annual subscriptions as well. So there's that.
Discord's free.
Discord is free,
And
so it's in the link in the description. So go click
because
that.
we're talking about knights and lords and stuff, like I'm a poet and everything else, so I'm gonna lay a little rhyme on you. Matt's gonna love this
Oh.
right here. Too bad we can't stay, but we got to get out for that booty spray.
Oh.
Yeah, all right.
It's the same.